Hi everyone, it's Maya, and today I have a tutorial for you guys. These are my two dolls, Kendal and Naomi, and recently I gave them some highlights. Here is a better view. As you can see, Kendal has light blue and Naomi has dark purple. So today I'm going to be making this video to show you how I added these permanent highlights to their hair. You're going to need a needle and some thread that roughly matches the color of your doll's hair, a pair of sharp scissors, a hairbrush and hair accessories like clips and elastics, and most importantly, you will need some hair wefts. Here are the hair wefts I purchased. You can see they're like sewn on little tracks, and I got these on eBay, but you could also probably get them on Etsy, and you could also buy like clip-in hair extensions and then remove the clips and just use the little hair pieces. So before I start, I do want to have a quick disclaimer. This is a permanent change to your doll. If you work, you can take the hair out, but it would probably be a big pain, and it's something that you could potentially screw your doll up and damage them permanently. So just check with your parents, make sure you know what you're doing before you attempt to do this, because I don't want anyone damaging their doll. And just another disclaimer, this is a time-consuming project. Just sewing on one weft can take quite a while, and if you sew on multiple ones like I did, it will take even longer. As you can see, I've already put in quite a bit of blue in Kendal's head, but I'm going to be adding some more in the back and some of the other layers of her hair. So let's get started. First, what you need to do is identify where you want to put it in your doll. If your doll has a part, I recommend trying to put it as close to the part as possible. You can see on Naomi, her part is right here, and I've added some of the hair right below her part just so that this top layer will cover up the wefts nicely. As you can see in the wig, the dolls have different wefts of hair sewn into the wig cap, and what you want to do is sew the tracks just right in between here. So after identifying where you want to sew in the wefts, you need to take all the hair above and comb it out of the way and then clip it up with like a clip or an elastic or something so that it's not getting in your way. Okay, now I have Kendal's hair all clipped up. You can see this is where I'm going to be sewing it in. It doesn't go all the way around her head right here, but I just want to have it in the back anyway, so that is good with me. The next step is to take your hair weft, and if it's too long, you'll need to cut it down a little, so just hold it right where you want to sew it. Just like measure it out and then trim it. I need to trim mine about here. So I'm just gonna thread my needle, and I would recommend getting like an extra long piece and then folding it back over itself and having the needle in here, just so you know it's nice and strong and the weft will be really secure in your doll's head. Okay, now I have my needle threaded and it's time to get this sewn in. So first I'm gonna dig the needle into the cap. Okay, so now the thread is in here, so carefully I am going to put the needle through the weft and just pull so that now it's onto the wig cap. Okay, right now what I'm doing is just going back over the starting spot a few times to make sure it's nice and secure before I continue to sew. Once I think I've gotten it secure, I'm going to sew by putting the needle right through the weft and the cap, then just sewing up like this. So this is why the curved needle really comes in handy. And then I'm gonna do a couple here, just like I did at the start, to make sure it's nice and secure. And then you just continue doing this all the way around. I've done a couple more stitches, and now I'll show you guys a few more, and then I'll just do the rest because I don't want to film the entire thing. This would be like a 40-minute video. So yeah, you pierce the wig weft, and then go through the netting on the wig cap. Sometimes it can get a little stuck and you might need to reposition slightly. Yeah, then loop up and around and pull. So then you just continue doing this all the way around to the end, and when you get to the end you want to loop around a few extra times just like at the start to make sure things are secure, and then you're done. You can keep doing it at multiple positions in the wig to have more color or less color or whatever you want. Another thing you can do to add more color to the wig is what I did around here on both Kendal and Naomi. Basically, I took a spoon and pried up the edges of the wig. Then using tacky glue, I glued some of the wig wefts right to their head and then waited for that to dry, and then I glued the wig back over. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye!